The professor is telling us that this is an extraordinarily high risk that we're taking. It's not me telling you that. You're getting warned already. If you go to the ICJ, you're taking an extraordinarily high risk. I say, brothers and sisters, it is not worth it. We don't have to do it. Don't do it. So, fact number 5, I'll just run through them quickly. There is no such thing as an ironclad case. Our government is telling us, don't worry, let us go there. Our case is strong. It is an ironclad case. My friends, every country who goes to the ICJ have a chance to lose. The United States, the great United States, has lost. What about Belize? Are we so smart that we cannot lose a case at the ICJ? Be careful. The thing is that if we lose, we will be losing our future, our territory. That is a hard knock to take. No. This is the big one. And maybe there's a silver lining here. Anybody live in PG, maybe Mr. Mike is back. If you live in Toledo, or if you live in the north where there's a chance that that might go, maybe the good thing is that we should borrow a little loan now, because if that area goes, we don't have to pay it back. Alright? But that is the fun side. But here is the fact that if we lose territory, there is no contingency plan. Our government has no contingency plan to compensate us or to relocate us or to make our lives as good as it now. Let us be fair, my friends. Let us be honest with ourselves. Do we want to go through this calamity for nothing? We don't have to. Let us think about our future. Let us think about what we're doing here. It happens to other people. You see people going around in caravans to the United States. You look at pictures of African conflicts. If you think it can happen here, this document is exactly what will happen. It will make it happen to us. So, our government has not prepared for us in case we lose. There's no contingency plan to relocate our people if we lose. So, fact number 7. Fact number 7. This special agreement rubbishes this 1859 treaty. This 1859 treaty is done if we go with the special agreement. Let me tell you why. Very simple. This one define the Belize's boundaries. This one is asking the ICJ to determine Belize's boundaries. Now tell me something, use your common sense. If we have already defined our boundaries, and now we're asking the ICJ to determine our boundaries, are we going back way? Are we going back way? Let me hear you. Are we going back way? We're going back way. This is nonsense, man. This is nonsense. Let us call a spade a spade. This special agreement rubbishes the 1859 treaty, and we should not allow that to happen. And so, finally, the final fact is that if we go to the ICJ, Belize will be the first and only country on earth to offer its entire territory before the ICJ for grabs. Beat that. You will have a distinction, Belize, and let me tell you what will happen. If we lose, the politicians will turn right back and look at you and say, you know something, you had the chance to vote. That you're fault. Even though we have never read this document, they will point on you and say that you're fault, Randy, that you're fault, Bobby, that you're fault, John. You should be careful. So, the big question, ladies and gentlemen, the big question is, should we give unappealable power to the ICJ to determine the Belize's boundaries? And my answer is no. Let me hear from you. No. We should not give the ICJ unappealable power to determine our boundaries. So, Here's the next question. Should Belize risk land rights and freedoms that we have now only to discredit Guatemala's claim? The answer is? Let me hear it. Ladies and gentlemen, what do we do? What do we do after? After this, we will need leadership. And let me tell you something. I am not seeing on that side. I'm not seeing on the red side. Because they say that they can do nothing more for us after this if we vote no. If we vote no, we will need leadership. And the leadership have to come from outside of what is happening right now. So, there are three things I tell you that we must do. And let us get serious. If we say no, it will not be easy. It will be a very difficult road. I'm not promising you a better road at all. Shall I say that we have to all join hands together to do this? Hands and hearts? Listen to me. We need to do three things. We need to do something at home. We need to do something internationally. And we need to do some things with Guatemala. I want to hear from you. Which one would you like to hear about first? Because these are the three tasks. We need to do something at home. We need to do something internationally, and we need to do something about Guatemala. Which task do you want to hear about now? Let us hear, okay, I know that because we're talking about Guatemala, let us hear what we should do with Guatemala. This is a serious matter. If we say no, I want us to look up here carefully. We must engage Guatemala in another peaceful way to solve the dispute. Guatemala cannot invade. They don't knock their head. They're not crazy. They can't stand sanctions. So they cannot invade Belize. But we have to have a treaty with Guatemala. And this is what we do. The first thing we need to do with Guatemala is to negotiate a conflict management treaty with Guatemala for four important things. Four important things, brother. One, to avoid aggression. Avoid aggression, avoid tension, maintain peace, and the most important one is for mutual national development. Listen, isn't it crazy that we are here claiming that we cannot develop because of Guatemala, and Guatemala is there claiming that they need a boundary before they begin to develop or cooperate with Belize. Kind of crazy. Both Belize and Guatemala are victims of the British, of the Spanish. All of us are victims. It is nonsensical for Guatemala to be claiming Belize when we are all victims. So, the second thing we need to do. Yeah, okay. Testing. Yeah. I think I get a better. Hello. Testing. Okay. I think we're getting better and better in terms of sound. So maybe